far more than we think. Making Sense of Spirituality by Angelo. Chapter 60. Yin Yang. I always used to think that the yin-yang sign was all about male and female. I have since come to learn that this famous Taoist symbol has a great deal more to it than that. In fact, this simple symmetrical shape contains a vast amount of wisdom. The Chinese words Tai Chi translate as great ultimate, and the Tai Chi symbol of Yin Yang is a brilliant representation of this spiritual concept. A full understanding of the symbol reveals the same spiritual principles that we have been discussing throughout this book. The words Yin Yang themselves translate as dark, light, and they are representative of the broader truth that nothing can exist in the universe without the simultaneous existence of its polar opposite. We touched on this in the chapters on perfect balance and now is all there is, but the yin-yang concept takes this one step further. The symbol illustrates not only the existence of the two opposites, but the existence of each within the other. We have black and white, but we also have white within black and black within white. There is light within the darkness and darkness within the light. This is an ingenious way to represent spirituality. If we think of the black part of the symbol as the universal energy of life, and the white part as any individuation of that energy, we can make all sorts of statements from this symbol that ring completely true. First, we see that every individual small white dot sits within the overall blackness that is the source of all that is. This is our individual spirit as part of everything that exists and glowing brightly in the darkness. We are the light. Next we see the black dot of universal energy sits inside the individuation of whiteness that is each of us. This is the treasure that is within every human being. Each of us is a container for the universal energy of life. Our physical form is a manifestation of this pure essence. Life is the energy that drives our existence. This is the spirit within. This is who we are. In terms of gender, the black represents female and the white is male. This gives us the source of all that is and the universal energy of life as being female, which makes sense to me. It also gives us humankind as being male, which again makes sense in the context of the words used in religion. We now see that humankind is the Son of God, in the sense that the male light is born out of the female darkness. The fact that we exist as male and female within humanity is simply a further subdivision of the overall yin-yang construct, as is seen throughout the natural world. The light is an individuation of the dark, and hence each of us is a son of God in the context of spirituality. Each of us is the Christ within. The yin-yang symbol predates the time of Jesus by many hundreds of years. In this context, Jesus can be seen as a Christ, but so too can the whole of humankind. He was the light, but so too is everyone else, if only we could see it. If we imagine moving from one side of the symbol to the other side, through the little dots or portholes, things become even more descriptive. We exist in the darkness of the universe, but once we recognize ourselves as the tiny dot of white light, then we can essentially transcend through the porthole and emerge into the brilliance of the light. Here we see ourselves as the light, but at the same time we see that the black dot of universal energy is at the core of us. If we focus on the spiritual black dot within, then we can transcend through the porthole and emerge into the totality of all that is, and see ourselves as part of the universal energy of life. Well, this is spirituality in a nutshell. This is the whole picture captured in a single symbol. That black dot is the hole in the soul that humankind is so busy trying to fill by every materialistic and emotional means possible. There's no need to fill the hole once we realize we are the light. All we need to do is shine. So, if we use the word God, then the yin-yang symbol tells us God is both universal and individual. It says we are part of God and that God is part of us. It says our minds and bodies are created out of God, but that God lies at the core of each of us. God is life, is love, and love is life, is God. We are life, and we are love, and hence we are God. Therefore we are the Son of God, and the Spirit of God, and we are God. We are effectively the Holy Trinity, manifested in human form. And we are also part of the Holy Trinity. It's all the same thing. God is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, and in the sense that every physical thing is a manifestation of universal energy, God is the creator of everything. There is an extraordinary amount of wisdom contained in this single symbol. The yin-yang symbol also sits in a circle, which perhaps represents the circular, never-ending, eternal nature of life. The portholes can be seen to represent our ability to move backwards and forwards between the universal and the individual. I imagine that this is exactly what even Alexander experienced on his journey. The yin-yang symbol is truly beyond belief.